I think we are live right now. Let's hope so. So, how are you guys doing today? And let me get you guys on the laptop here so I can see what's going on. Okay. This is the one. All right. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. Hope you guys can see here. Let's do that. Get a little light on the subject. Okay. Try not to wiggle you guys too much. So, how are you guys doing today? Yeah. Are you ready to sew some Junky Grungy Grammy dolls? So let's see. Okay. I'm just double checking everything, make sure it looks good. So these are my, well, first of all, I'm Tammy, and this is Snowstorm Crafts. And these are my Junky Grungy Grammy dolls that I've been working on showing some live streams with you guys step by step on how I make them. So if you want to get caught up to the point that we are today, this is the third live that I'm doing. I have the playlist down below, so you guys can click on that playlist and get caught up and uh, be where we're at. Oh, I don't even have my microphone on. Let me put my microphone on. This is live. There we go. You guys probably hear me a little better now. Okay. So click on the link down below and you guys can come check out the playlist and get caught up with us. And also I do have the pattern down below. If you guys come and get the pattern from my Etsy shop, you can follow along with that. So I got the pattern down below, and then plus I have these gals for sale in my Etsy shop, so you guys can come and purchase them. Would be amazing. And you can have a little Junky Grungy Grammy doll from me. So yeah, so I got those. And I also wanted to show you guys my newest addition, my Pip dolls that I've been working on. I'm super excited about them. So we'll put them over here and they can watch us. See how we're doing. Make sure we're doing it right. Okay, set them up. I would love to hear where you guys are watching from. Like, you know, what state in the United States or what country, or, you know, I'd love to hear all that. Yeah. But right now, okay, I'll show you guys here. So we got the Pip dolls, what I've been working on. And this is my first little Pip doll that I did. And the fun thing about them is their little braids have wire in them. So they're adjustable. So you can move them however you want. Like that. So those are super fun. They're so much fun. And I have the links down below if you guys want to come to my Etsy shop and get one. So I have two. I have her, which her little eye I think is so cool. It's kind of fun. And you lift it up. But it's just so creepy. It's perfect for Halloween right now. But there's my first Pip doll. And then here's my other one I was working on. And I got her finished. And I made her braids a little bit longer. And just, you know, like I said, none of these are ever going to be exactly the same. Even if you guys just follow what I'm doing step by step and do exactly what I do, yours is going to turn out totally different than mine. And that's the fun part about making these, is that they're not all the same. And I really love that. Even with my dolls, when I do them, they're never the same. They're always different. But, so you got the wire here. Is that fun? Oh, hi, Christine from Tennessee. Nice. Thanks for joining today. But yeah, look at that. So you just go like that, and you can just bend it around. And then, of course, she's in my shop, too. And I have the links below. But it's just so much fun. You can just do them however you want. And then that's the back. So I just kind of I did the hair together. I mixed it all. Different colors. So yeah. And then she's got a little owl. And a little outfit. But these are fun. These were really, really fun to make. Okay. So enough of that. We'll put these guys over here. We got a lot of little dolls watching us today here. Making sure I'm doing it right. Okay, now I wanted to talk to you guys about my my little desktop ironing board here. Uh, I was talking to my mom the other day on the phone, and I was like, "Yeah, I got my," because this weekend I was working on the Pip dolls and had it all set up. And what I've always used is this ironing board, and it's pretty much like a caddy, a doll caddy, where I put all my stuff on it. Like I got all my doll stuff here. You know, I got my needles, I got my threads, I got my glue, and I have everything just on this little ironing board. It's just a cute little, you can see it's just a little tabletop ironing board. And I actually do have a link that you guys can come and see how I put it all together. And it's a no-sew, easy, just put it all together, and I show you guys how to do that. But there's a link down below if you guys want to come see how I did this little custom ironing board. But what I do with it is I take this and I lift the whole thing up, have all my stuff on it, and I sit down in my recliner, and it's a perfect width where this goes right on the arms of the chair. So I just have it right up there, right all on me, sit and watch my favorite programs, you know, and sewing and doing all my hand sewing, because pretty much that's where we're at today, is putting the dolls together with the hand sewing. There will be a little bit of the sewing machine for the legs and the arms, and that's optional if you guys want to do that. But like here, how I sew across here, but you could do it with hand stitch too. You don't have to do the sewing machine, but I always just go to the sewing machine real quick and just zip right through. And same with the arms. So that's the only thing on the sewing machine today. Everything else is going to be hand sewn. And what I'm going to show you guys today, and we'll see how far we get. I like to keep these like under an hour, or it's just, you know, too much. So I got the arms and the legs here. And then we have our body and our dress. And then we may get to the apron today, but we'll see how far we get. But for sure, we'll get this far and get her put together. Okay? So what we're going to need is, we got our, what do they call them? I have the links in my Amazon links down there. And these are locking tweezer clamps, I think that is what they're called, or the hemostats. And I have the link down below. These are seriously a game changer, guys. I really love using these to stuff the dolls with, because it's just nice to get it into the small little holes and stuff for it. So I'm going to just start off with that and some polyfill stuffing, which I have the link down below. I get a big old box, like a 5-pound box of this stuff. And I'm actually getting low. I might have to get some more, but I'm kind of trying to use it all out here, use it all up. But that's what we're going to start with right now. And I'm going to go ahead and just start stuffing the legs and the arms first. So we'll just put this here. And I think I've covered everything I was going to say, but who knows? I might come up with something else, right? But what we're going to do is you just need, because you get too much, it just gets bulked up in there and you can't get it a good stuffing. So I just clamp it right in there. And I never use the lock. I never lock it or anything, but you can lock it if you need to. But I just push it in and then clamp it again, and just, you can keep opening it and just pushing it in there however you want. So I just get it stuffed like that. But I've just been having fun getting back into making my dolls and stuff, because in the summertime I was out with my chickens and running around and playing with them, and just doing summer stuff, you know, swimming and all that thing. And, you know, and I'm like, oh, I don't really want to sit down and sew, but now it's starting to get a little cooler out and the leaves are changing, and it's just nice to cozy up and, you know, watch your favorite shows and just sit and sew. I mean, that's the best time, right? I love sewing in the wintertime. Okay, so I just keep kind of stuffing it, and I don't stuff it super packed or anything like that. I do about 1.5 inches. I've got so maybe a little bit more. So roughly 1.5 inches of stuffing. But you can stuff your arm all the way up if you want. I've done that before with my dolls and just stuff the whole thing. But I do about here. And I go to the next one. So yeah, I'd love to hear, are you guys' leaves changing on the trees and, you know, getting all the pretty fall leaves coming out? Um, Towards the coast, because we're about an hour away from the coast, that drive is beautiful about now, about this time, mid October. You get all the leaves changing, and it's just beautiful. But right now, here where I'm at in the valley, it's just kind of, they're starting to work on changing. Like the maple trees and all that are starting to change. And it's just the prettiest season. It's so pretty. I love I think they're Chinese maples, I think they're called. And they just get like that fire red. Just so cool. Okay. So I just, make them roughly the same. So you just kind of test it. See where you're at. So about like that. Okay. And then for the legs, I do about 2 inches of stuffing. Like that. And I just love these clamps because you can, like if I just have like a pokey tool or, like a chopstick or something like that, you just, I don't know, it just kind of slides around and goes around it and stuff, where I really like to be able to get it where I want it, and I just clamp it and put it where I want to get it, and it doesn't slide all over the place on me. But yes, these are definitely just perfect to stuff these little legs and arms and the body. I mean, I use these for everything. Okay. Yeah, so this is just so relaxing, and you just sit, and you're never, like I say, you're not in a race. We're not in a hurry to get anything done. Just take your time and get them how you want them. Okay. So I do these about 2 inches, so a little bit more. And then once I get them to a certain point that I want, I just, like I said, I just go to the sewing machine, and I'll just pop over real quick and sew them, and then I'll show you guys what I did, because I don't really want to move you guys around and have you all dizzy and, crazy. So I think that's good. Okay. Sometimes if you get too much at once stuffing in there, it kind of bulks up on itself. Just get down to that tip right there. Okay. And then I just, every once in a while, stop to see about how much further. We're almost there. So we got like, because I'm in Oregon. I don't know if I told you guys that, but yeah, I'm in Oregon, and we got 80-degree weather today. And I was like, wow. I actually turned on my AC for a little bit. But, so it's definitely warm. But then we have some rain. Oh, man. We definitely got rain coming. So it's like, enjoy these days while you can, right? Okay. I'm liking that. That looks good to me. Okay. So you got your roughly 2 inches on your legs, and then 1.5 inches or so on your arms. And I'm going to go over and sew real quick right here and just get these done. And I'm just doing a straight stitch on a 2, just the 2 inches. I just go straight through, and then I'll show you guys. I just line them up. And every time I do this, I usually have more than just these, you know. I have like a whole bunch of them that I do at a time. And my husband always laughs and thinks it looks like a mobile or mobile, how it just hangs like that. And it's kind of funny. It's like a skeleton. It'd be perfect for like Halloween, just a skeleton like that, just hanging. But that's what I do, is I just go straight through the machine just to make it easy, and just go zip, line it up so they're tip to tip, and then zip it through. And I just do chain sewing just like that, and then they're all together, so you don't lose them either, which is nice. So I put that there. Now we're going to work on the body. So I think it's kind of fun just to show you guys different things, because I've made at least 100 of these dolls, at least. And just things I've learned along the way, you know, just little tips and tricks. And I really love sharing that with you guys, because it just makes it a lot easier, you know, and you guys don't have to fumble through and figure it out and go through the pains in the butts parts. So I'm just, right now, this is the trick, is stuff the head, don't go any further. So we're just stuffing the head to the doll. And I will show you why. Okay. I just get it into the crevices like that. Now, with the head, I actually do, and the neck, I stuff them pretty good, pretty tight, for a couple of reasons. Is I like the shape that I can get when I, like right here, kind of how it pokes out, and you get like the bulge where it's like the mouth kind of. I like to get that, and this is pretty tight. And then you also want to kind of go tight with the neck, because you don't want the neck flopping around. So though I kind of do the head and the neck pretty tight, tightly stuffed. And those are the reasons why. So we'll just do the head, and then just the neck, pretty much. But it takes more stuffing than you think. It really does. Alright, so I'm just making sure I get into the sides here. And with the wrinkles and stuff, doesn't matter, because that's where we're gonna have the hair. So you won't really you won't see it at all. Okay, then decide which side you want the front to be. I'm wanting this to be the front. And then I just do a little bit more, and just kind of poke out the mouth area a little bit. Like that. And you can see how it does that. It just kind of pokes it a little bit. I don't know. That's that's what I do. Let's see. Okay. There we go. I like that. And then let's get the neck. And I've done this before, where I'm just, you know, watching my shows and stuff and doing all that, and then I stuff the whole body, and then I'm like, oh man. And I usually catch myself before I sew the bottom and stuff, but I've done that more than once. And then I'll show you guys why you don't want to stuff the whole thing, because this makes this part just so much easier. I need some more. Alright. So just get the neck. Fairly tight so it doesn't just flap in the wind here. Oh, we got Kitty coming in. Even though I just gave her treat before I started my live video, because she is a talker. She likes to talk. Well, no, you already got your snack. You already got your snack. Okay. So we got that done. And now tweezers come in handy. I just take it and I fold the bottom up. Go through your dress. Figure out what side you want the front. Go through your dress. Fold the bottom. And then just pull it up. You definitely want to do this before you stuff the body. It will not work. Okay? So there's a little tip and trick there. Like that. That, and then I take the dress and I just fold it up just to get it up out of our way, because that was the main thing we wanted to do, is just get this dress on. Okay, now we can continue stuffing it, the rest of the body. I'm just getting that neck really good. There. See, that's pretty solid. Okay. Now the rest of the body, I stuff it fairly good, pretty tight, but nothing like I do the head. So we'll just get to this certain point, and then I'll show you what I do down at the bottom half of the body. Okay. A little bit more. Okay. And pretty much everything I'm showing you guys, I do have links for, the Amazon links down below. And if not, let me know in the comments, and I will get it on there after, I'm done doing the live part here. I will get those links down there for you. But I double checked. I think I got everything that you guys would need. So now what I'm using at the bottom half, so I go, I don't know, what, an inch or so? Inch and a half of the body left. And I put buckwheat holes, is what they're called. And I just have it in my dog container, just because it's a little treat container. And then I just have one of these little solo cup things, but I mean, you can have anything. And I try not to spill it everywhere, which I have definitely done. I'm sure there's tons of this stuff in my chair, but I just take it and I pour it in there. Because I think it's fun. It's kind of fun to have a different texture in the bottom of the doll. And I've had people write me on my Etsy and stuff and go, is that rice? And I'm like, no, it's buckwheat holes. And it's just kind of fun. It's just kind of ooh, what is that, It doesn't really help the dolls sit up better or, anything like it. Doesn't really weigh it down or anything. but it just kind of gives it a fun texture at the bottom. Okay. So I do that, and then take some stuffing and plug it up, because you will get this everywhere if you don't do this part. Ask me how I know. Okay. And I like my little cup here. I like balance with it. So I just make sure that nothing's gonna fall out on me here. Okay. And since we're here, let's go ahead and do the legs. Now this is gonna be the hand stitching part. We're done with this for now. Remember, keep all your threads. Okay, our arms, we'll do our legs. So what I have here is just embroidery floss and a needle. And I have those in my links down below, which I think you get 25 of these. I mean, it's not the DMC stuff, which is, you know, primo. I really like that stuff, but I actually got this, and I think it's just a different kind of brand of embroidery floss. And it works great. It doesn't get really tangled up. It doesn't, you know, because it's kind of scary to use a different kind of floss, because sometimes they get knotted up or, you know, different things. But this stuff works really good. And I use it on all my dolls, and it's I have it all black, but I think you get different colors, but I think you can get 25 of them. And I use 6 strands is what it is, and I use 3 strands. Okay. So I also like that about my little ironing board here. I could just kind of stick the needle in it if I need to. Okay, and then we got our clips, and I'm sure I have the clips. I think I have the sewing clips down in the links too. I try to get everything down there for you guys, because this stuff does come in handy. So I just stick the legs in here. All right. Just go ahead. Put the legs on. I just tuck them down in there. And then I clamp it. I know, I'm trying to do this and show you guys without putting my fat head in the way. Leaning over here. Okay, we got that, and then we stick the other leg in. Okay. And this is the fiddly partner. And then I just stick and clamp like that, just to do that. Okay, now, what I like to do, I should probably put the lid on the buckwheat holes, or it's gonna spill everywhere. So I like to go like this, because see how that's crooked? I don't want them that crooked. So I just make sure and line them up here. So there, that's better. Okay. And then I'm just going to make sure to tuck everything in that I don't want sticking out. And then I just start, I'm just going to do a straight stitch all the way. I just go on the inside here, go like that, and then just make sure everything's where you want it. that. Just making sure you catch the leg. I like to flip it like I'm doing and looking at both sides because I've done it before. I'm not looking and I just do one side and it always turns out weird on the other side. So I try to just do that and then look at the other side like that. Thanks, Sonia. Yeah, hit the thumbs up. That would help me out a lot, actually. That would be great. I would appreciate it if you guys subscribe to my channel and hit the thumbs up. That would help me out a lot. And, yeah. I mean, I got tons of doll videos that I've done. I have a playlist of putting these all together, plus my, all my other seasonal dolls and stuff. And so like when you go purchase the PDF download over on my Etsy, it isn't any written instructions on it. All the instructions are video like this, where I actually talk to you guys in detail and show you guys exactly how I put everything together. I'm more of a visual learner, so that's kind of how I do them. I don't do like written instructions and diagrams and all that stuff to give you, because that's why I can sell it at such a reasonable price for you guys, because I just do virtual videos. And yeah, I really appreciate it if you guys came and purchased some patterns for me. I got like, I think 15 patterns of different dolls in my shop, and followed along with my videos. I mean, that helps me out so much. It really does. And hit the like button. That does help me out. So yeah, thank you, Sonia. I really appreciate it. Okay, so we're almost there. I'm just making sure as I go across that I'm catching the leg and making sure, you know, I'm making it stay in there. Okay. Let's go ahead and go a little bit further. I know. I remember when I started making videos, which was a couple years ago, I always mumbled to myself, and I would just mumble. And I had to like make sure that I talk loud enough that everybody can hear what I'm saying, because I kind of talk to myself as I'm doing things. So it's like I have to remind myself that I need to talk and enunciate my words. So that's funny. Okay, there we go. And I think that's looking pretty good. And then you got, you know, your loose thread here. So I just take it and go in between right here and just wiggle it and come up like to here, like that, and then you're hiding it. Okay. Then I have this part, like where you started off and you got the knot. I just take it with my scissors and tuck it in like that, and then everything is tucked away. So there we go. So we got our legs on. Ta-da! Now, before I do the arms, I like to do this, which is put the lace, like I do here, on the bottom, just the lace, or whatever you want to put at the bottom. You could even do some fun ripped fabric or flannel, like some ripped flannel or something. That would look kind of cool. So I got my Fabrifix glue is what I use. And yes, it should be down in the links. But I just take my lace or my, you know, whatever I'm using, and I'll go around Let me think here. Let's do, I feel like I'm doing it backwards, but I go here and I kind of start on the edge and I go over a little bit like that, just because I measure. This is how I measure. And I go around, and then I just make sure I have more than I need. Like that. I mean, there's no exact science to this, you know. But, and then I just take my glue. Just do a thin enough line. I forgot to put my needle back into my glue bottle because I always have a needle that I just stick in there. And it sat like that almost for 2 days. And I'm like, oh no, my glue better not be dried up because I hate that. This is the worst. And it's doing great. So if I have some issues, which I hope I don't, it seems to be doing good though. Okay, so I just glue it down. And then just continue here. You can also sew it on if you want to. Just do more hand stitching. But I like to glue it. Okay. And then at the end here, I just take it and just do some glue here. And then some glue here. And then just piece it together like that. And there we go. Make sure it's all glued. Okay, I like to do that before I put the arms on because if you do it after, the arms are all in the way and it's just annoying. So that's the step I like to do first. And it turns out really cute. And if you want, you can just spray your dress and, you know, however you want to do that part. Okay, and then just make sure I line up my dress to the seam enough. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but kind of line it up. Okay. I think we're doing good on time here, so we're going to go ahead and just do the arms and probably call it for the day. So I just take my arm, I take my floss, just the embroidery floss. I put one arm, and I just do this. This is how I do them. I just take them and put them like, you can see like a sleeve kind of popping up like that. I just kind of tuck it in there. Just like that. And then I go back behind the dress, or, you know, like inside the dress down here. And then I pop up right about there. Okay, because what we're doing is we're making X's. That's a good example for some reason. But there, that's a good one. So we're making X's to keep the arms on. And then I'll show you how I do it. So I just pop it up like this. And then we'll fix that in a minute. We just tuck it in. So I just go like that, and I start my X. So I go down here, right? And then I go all the way through. Now you can use a doll needle for this, which is the really long ones, but these dolls aren't that big. So I just use a regular needle. And then I go to the other side, place my arm. You know, you can line them up if you want. You can have them crooked if you want. You can do it however you want. I mean, you can obviously see my dress isn't even straight, which I love. So then I started my X, right? And now I'm going to go over here and continue an X over here. Okay. So you just make sure you don't pull it too tight. And then go down with your X like that. And then we're going to pop up over here. Up. complete on that side. So you don't want to pull too tight or it just bunches. Okay. And then I'm going to go to the bottom here. Right. And then complete my X. So you can see we got an X on that side. I'm going to complete my X, and I'm going to complete it. I'm going to go down in the dress here and come out like that. So then we got our X's. And then I'm just going to knot. And then you can just pop it down here if you want to. Okay. That is how I put my doll together. So then you can just take this and tuck it in like that. So you got your X here and your X there. So that's the easiest way I've figured out how to add the X's to my arms and just hold them in. So we got that. We got that. We got our dress on. We got our lace on. And that's as far as we're going to get today. So make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell because you guys want to see when I put it in my community tabs, and I'll let you guys know, which Tuesday at 2 seems to be working for me for my schedule and stuff. So it'll probably be next Tuesday at 2, but if it changes, I will let you guys know in the community tabs. And I really appreciate you guys following along. And if you could subscribe and hit the notification bell and like this video, that would help me a lot. And I hope you guys have a great day and happy crafting. And until next time.